Hello and welcome to Mount Allison's class of 2026 Convocation. Before we begin, we'd like to share a few important reminders to help you enjoy today's ceremony. Washrooms are available on the second and third floors, and an accessible washroom is located at the bottom of the stairs, just off the main lobby. When exiting the auditorium, turn left. For your safety, please note that emergency exits are located on each side of the stage, as well as through the front doors where you entered. In the event of an evacuation, please remain calm and follow the directions of our ushers. In the unlikely event of a power outage, we ask that you remain calm and stay seated. Our ushers are equipped with flashlights and will guide you safely. First aid assistance is available in the lobby should you require it. The ceremony is also being live streamed. A screen is available in the lobby if you need to leave the auditorium for any reason. The recordings of the ceremonies will be available at mta.ca/convocation later this week. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy today's ceremony as we celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates.
Good morning, bonjour. We would like to acknowledge that Mount Allison University is located within the traditional territory of Mi'kma'ki, the unceded ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq. Our relationship and our privilege to live on this territory was agreed to in the Peace and Friendship Treaties of 1725 to 1752. Because of this treaty relationship, it is to be acknowledged that we are all treaty people and have a responsibility to respect this territory. Thank you.
Gwe, ni nelawisi migajumestabek na jij ni wiki amalam gukwasawe. Welcome, Upchalasi. My name is Nicole, and I'm the knowledge keeper from Fort Folly First Nation. I'm also the Indigenous student coordinator here at Mount Allison, and I bring greetings on behalf of Chief and Council, and we welcome you all here today. I'm going to say a prayer for our grads. If we can all stand. Gisuk, Creator, thank you for this day you have given us. Thank you for holding off the reins a little bit longer so that we may process down here to Convocation Hall. Watch out for each and every one of our grads that are coming across this stage, wherever their journeys may lie in the future, wherever the winds may take them. Guide them and support them on that journey. Honor and bless them with the knowledge that they are receiving, that they can continue to do good in this world, that they will bring all their knowledge back to their communities, to their homelands, and that they continue to be better individuals for our society. Take the knowledge that they have gained here at Mount Allison University and continue to do good in the world, hoping that their time here at Mount Allison will never be forgotten, and that they will continue to come and bring that laughter and that joy back to our campus in the future. And continue to be proud Mount-Allsonians once they leave here. Thank you to each and every one of our family members that are here today and our friends that are here today supporting our grads. Continue to guide them and support them, for they are our future. And with them, give thanks, because without them, we may not know where we are or where we are going. Continue to guide us on our journeys. Walalan and Sitnogama. You may be seated. I would like to introduce our two jingle dress dancers to the stage. Myra Shipley from Fort Folly Amlumguk First Nation, and Shay Ward from Nahuatl First Nation. And they will be dancing jingle dress for you today. Our jingle dress is a dance of healing and protection and guidance. And we're going to dance for you guys as well, for your journeys that you are on today. Okay.
Take Well, good morning, everyone. Bon matin tous, Gwe. It is my distinct honor and privilege to declare Convocation to be in session. Je prononce la cérémonie de la remise des diplômes en cours. Mr. Chancellor, Board Chair, Regents, faculty, staff, and administration, distinguished platform guests, graduates, family, friends, and members of the Mount Allison community, welcome. Bienvenue, Upjalasi, to our 2026 Convocation ceremony. I am deeply honored to be here to help celebrate our graduates. Mr. Chancellor, as we begin this morning's ceremonies, I would like to introduce a number of very special and distinguished and honored guests that are with us today. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Chancellor Emeritus Dr. John Bragg, Megan Mitten, member of the Legislative Assembly for Tantramar, a number of our honorary degree recipients, Dr. Judy Bragg, Dr. David Booth, Dr. Sandra Crabtree, Dr. Don McNutt. We also have with us today Jonathan Graves, President of the Alumni Association Board, Cassandra Vale, President and CEO of the Mount Allison Student Union, Robert Tucker, representative of the Tucker family, and joining us from our partner, Moncton Flight College, Elise McGlashing, Student Program Manager. Please welcome all of our guests today. Now, graduates, for better or worse, the convocation ceremony starts with my chance to talk to you for a few minutes. But before I do that, I have a task for everybody else in this room. At a few points during this ceremony, you're going to be asked to celebrate the class of 2026 with uproarious applause and hoots and hollers and every noise you can possibly make. We do expect that each additional time that you do this, you get louder and more joyous. So in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to do it for the first time. Consider this your warm-up. So everyone, please raise your voices, raise your cheers, raise your applause in celebration of the class of 2026. I'm going to give you a 7 out of 10 on that one. You got a couple of more goes at this before the end of this morning. Graduates, while we are here to celebrate your enormous and incredible accomplishments, nobody gets to this point without a lot of help, care, love, and support. So I'd ask you graduates to join me in helping thank all of your family members, your supporters, your professors, your instructors, staff, mentors, everybody that's helped you get to here today. Class of 2026, thank everybody that's here with you today. Now, graduates, you are at a moment, a threshold in your lives, one of the great moments of your life's journey. After years of hard work today, through ceremony and symbol, you will pass from who you have been as students into who you are becoming as graduates of our great university. Throughout history, as sure as the tides of the Bay of Fundy and the great Tantramar winds, Mount Allison graduates have made this journey, going out into the world to make their marks upon it. Today, in that 200-year lineage, it is your turn. And indeed, I would say we need you more than ever. I wish that I could stand here today and point out to a world that's ripe with opportunity and peace. You know that I cannot do that. I am sure that many here today share the anxieties of where we are at this present time in world history and the futures that are ahead. The pace and the depth of instability and risk is sadly breathtaking. To be sure, there are days when I'm sure all of us, feel a little bit despondent about where things are going. Sometimes I feel the familiar fabric that we've become used to of a progressive world, that fabric is unraveling and slipping away. Economic uncertainty, global conflicts, a world whose attention to equity and justice seems to wane. There are days when I feel despondent. This is not one of those days. As I stand before you, I see graduates of broad, curious, accomplished, generous hearts and minds. You embody the hopes and dreams of this university, our very vocation, to contribute to a more prosperous, just, equitable, sustainable, and knowing world. Graduates, over these last years in lecture halls and labs, in libraries and in community, you've explored ideas, you've pushed boundaries, you've expanded your horizons. You've navigated the unknowns of intellectual inquiry and creative expression. You've journeyed through diverse fields of knowledge in preparation for the complexities and the perspectival incongruities of the world. You've delved into literature and art and science and economics, honing in equal measure technical skills and the capacity to think broadly, critically, creatively, and to lead in a world of uncertainty. Yet your achievements go far beyond your academic successes. You've immersed yourselves in a vibrant community dedicated to shaping the world for the better. Some among you have advanced ecological research and scientific laboratories, pushing the boundaries of discovery. Others have graced the stage or worked tirelessly behind the scenes in musical and theatrical productions, bringing meaning and beauty to our lives. Many have traveled wide and far through student exchanges. You volunteered in initiatives like Together Time, bringing hope and joy to children on their journeys of learning and reading. Many of you have worked as interns in organizations and companies, locally, regionally, nationally, and internationally. No matter where your passions lie, be it in the arts or in the sciences or in service or any other pursuit, you have been and continue to be an integral part of this vibrant community, shaping a better world through your dedication and engagement. Through all of these experiences, you have had a flame lit within you, a spark, the spark of learning, the spark of curiosity, the spark of courage. That is the fuel for a better world. Never let that flame go out. Over this last year, we have been celebrating a particular anniversary, the 150th anniversary of the graduation of Grace Annie Lockhart. Grace Annie Lockhart was the first woman, not just in New Brunswick or Canada, but the first woman across the entire then British Empire of nations to earn a university degree of any type. That flame, that spark, started not in London or Oxford or Cambridge or Manchester or Aberdeen or Toronto or Montreal or Vancouver. That flame started here. And that flame is part of the lineage that you are part of. And I think it is the most beautiful and powerful reminder that with a great education, the great support, no matter who you are, no matter where you're coming from, no matter where you are today, from wherever you stand or wherever you sit, you can change the world. And we know that you will do that. So class of 2026, the very last thing I want to say to you before we embark on the rest of the ceremony is to actually quote your class quote. You chose the quote, "I'm ready for another adventure." You are ready for another adventure. We cannot wait to support you in those journeys and to see where you go. Everyone, second chance, raise the roof for the class of 2026.
Mr. Chancellor, platform guests, members of the faculty and staff, graduates of the class of 2026, families and friends, I'm honored today to present John H. McCormick-Bain. John McCormick-Bain is an entrepreneur, philanthropist, and a visionary leader whose life's work has been shaped by both enterprise and purpose. He has achieved distinction in business and has used that success to create opportunity for others on an extraordinary scale. As founder of Trader Classified Media, Mr. McCaw-McBain demonstrated that entrepreneurial skills, imagination, and determination that define exceptional leadership in business, and he has helped build an international enterprise of lasting significance, showing not only strategic insight, but also the courage to pursue bold ideas. Yet what distinguishes him the most is the way that he has chosen to extend that success far beyond the business world. As co-founder of the McCaw-McBain Foundation, he has directed his energy and resources towards causes that strengthen society and invest in the future. In 2019, John, along with his wife Marcy, established the McCaw-McBain Scholarships with a gift of $200 million to McGill University. That same year, they signed the Giving Pledge, intending to give away the majority of their wealth to philanthropic causes. His philanthropy has advanced education, leadership development, health, and environmental initiatives, opening doors for students, institutions, supporting institutions, helping young leaders, and has demonstrated a profound faith in the capacity of education to shape the lives and improve the world. He has championed the idea that talent exists everywhere, but opportunity does not, and that one of the most important responsibilities of leadership is to help bridge that gap. In doing so, he has enabled countless individuals to pursue learning, service, and leadership at the highest levels. Through bold vision, deep generosity, and a clear commitment to the common good, John McCaw-McBain has demonstrated the transformative power of purposeful leadership. In honoring him, we recognize not only a distinguished entrepreneur, but also a philanthropist whose impact will continue to be felt by the lives of students, scholars, institutions, and communities for many years to come. Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of Mount Allison University, I request that you confer upon John H. McCaw-McBain the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
John McCaw-McBain, on behalf of the Senate of Mount Allison University, we are pleased to confer on you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. The hood with which we are investing you and the diploma we are presenting to you are the outward symbols of your membership in this venerable and distinguished community. We are honored to have you as a Mount Allison graduate and look forward to your continued association with the university.
Mr. Chancellor, platform guests, members of the faculty and staff, graduates of the class of 2026, families and friends, I'm honored to present Dr. Marcy McCaw-McBain. Dr. Marcy McCaw-McBain is a distinguished health scholar and philanthropist whose work reflects a profound commitment to learning, well-being, and human potential. In both her academic and philanthropic life, she has brought intelligence, compassion, and a deep sense of purpose to her work of helping individuals and communities to flourish. Her example is one of thoughtful leadership that is grounded in knowledge, guided by empathy, and directed towards meaningful and lasting impact. With an accomplished academic background that includes advanced study at the University of Oxford, Dr. McCall-McBain has long demonstrated the value of scholarship in understanding and improving the human experience. Her work in health and well-being reflects a concern not only for academic inquiry, but also the practical and personal dimensions of how people live, learn, and thrive. She has paired that intellectual perspective with a commitment to service, using her knowledge and experience to support initiatives that create opportunity that strengthens lives. As co-founder of the McCall-McBain Foundation, Dr. McCall-McBain has helped advance transformative work in education, health, and the environment. Her leadership has supported students, scholars, institutions, while also promoting the kind of thoughtful philanthropy that fosters excellence and expands possibility. She has helped champion investments that are both ambitious and humane, investments that recognize importance of leadership, access, and care. Through this work, she has contributed to development of individuals and communities in ways that will endure for generations. Dr. McCall-McBain reminds us that leadership is not always loud and that influence is often most powerful when it is exercised with care, humility, and conviction. Her work reflects a belief that the use of knowledge is to improve the lives of others and that the best use of generosity is the open path where none existed before. In honoring Dr. McCall-McBain, we recognize a scholar, a philanthropist, and a leader whose thoughtful and compassionate contributions have made a lasting difference in the world. Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of Mount Allison University, I request that you confer upon Dr. Marcy McCall-McBain the degree of Doctors of Law, honoris causa.
Marcy McCall-McBain, on behalf of the Senate of Mount Allison University, we are pleased to confer on you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. The hood with which we are investing you and the diploma we are presenting to you are the outward symbols of your membership in this venerable and distinguished community. We are honored to have you as a Mount Allison graduate and look forward to your continued association with the university.
Congratulations once again, Drs. McCall-McBain. It would be our honor to invite you to address Convocation.
Merci beaucoup. Merci pour tout le monde ici sur l'étage qui travaille toute l'année pour ce moment-là ici. And for all the students in front of us who've worked many years to arrive here, along with their families supporting us. Chancellor, President Sutherland, faculty, families, and friends, c'est an honor d'être ici avec vous and to be welcomed so warmly into the Mount Allison family. It's evident even from walking in this morning how clearly this place takes community and academics very seriously, and I think these two things belong together and sometimes don't get the acknowledgement they deserve. But community, a sense of being and belonging, along with academia, are two powerful tenets of why education matters. Class of 2026, this day belongs to you. You will have arrived at this moment with very different roots. But what matters today is that you've arrived and you're here. Enjoy it. You finished the degree, and I can tell you from the position I've been in, where you are, is that this degree is yours, and nobody will ever take that away from you. You've deserved it, you've earned it, and it's yours. It will be an investment in your future. But of course, today is more than just the completion of a degree. It reflects years of persistence. It reflects essays written and rewritten, experiments that worked and those that didn't, conversations that stretched and challenged the way that you thought, friendships that sustained you, and the quiet decisions to keep going, even when things might have felt very uncertain for you. John and I have stood where you are, and also to the parents in the room. We're parents of graduates, we've been siblings of graduates and friends of graduates. If you're in any of those categories, this is also for you to celebrate and revere in accomplishment. So as Rajan so kindly shared, what has brought John and I here today in front of you is the firm belief that talent is truly everywhere, but opportunity is not. I was able to attend university in Canada because of a government loan. That public investment changed my trajectory. And scholarships, we believe, go further still. They not only remove the financial barriers, but they affirm your potential. Investing in young people is not abstract philanthropy. For us, we believe it is one of the most practical ways to strengthen a country's future. I'd like to share with you three reflections that I've learned along the way. And the first one is to show up, because you can make a difference. I grew up on a really small farm in Canada, and opportunity came for me through participation. If something was going to happen, it required people to step forward. The stones on the farm, my father would say, would not pick themselves. We call it chip-in energy. And I remember being part of 2 sports teams at once, leading in school politics, volunteering at Big O on a Thursday for fundraising, and teaching swimming lessons on a Friday. But I did all these things not because I was exceptional. I did them because in a small town, in a small community, you are needed. And if you didn't show up, the game just didn't get played. People count on you in a different way when you come from a small town and a small community. And I learned early that I could make a difference. My hunch is the class of 2026 knows this very fact, too. Mount Allison is intentionally close-knit. It's part of your superpower. You have been known here by name. You've had to lead discussions to articulate and defend your views and revise them when someone else presented them with a stronger argument. You haven't been able to disappear into the back row, and I expect that you came here because you didn't really want to do that. At Mount Allison, you've learned that you don't have to like everyone, but you do need to seek to understand them. And honestly, I think that might be the most useful thing that anyone can bring into the world right now. My second bit of advice is that good intentions are good, but not enough. And you have to learn how to ask the right questions. This reflection is something I learned while studying evidence-based medicine at Oxford. And in times of uncertainty, we need to ask the right questions. You have to be willing to change your mind when the data landscape changes. Healthcare of all needs this kind of mindset right now. A collaborative thinking, a rigorous challenging of ideas, and thoughtful approaches to using data. As do many other areas, public policy, climate change, all of the future of the workplace is uncertain right now. So be asking the questions, what does this situation call for right now, and how can I change the needle on it? No single discipline has all the answers. The question again and again is, what does the evidence show, and how are we prepared to adjust because of it? And finally, number 3, keep growing. Keep being uncomfortable enough to grow, to stretch. My grandmother used to tell me, if you weren't learning, you were probably dying, so don't do that. Every few years, she would always take up something new, entirely new. She'd be painting one season, and then she'd be umpiring baseball the next. And I've carried that with me, and I enjoy being a perpetual learner. Finishing my studies, working in philanthropy, I have learned I'm a recent ceramicist. There's no limits to what you can learn, even as an adult. But it's important to keep things interesting in life. So my message in 3 parts is the first thing is remember your community. You've built that here and you can build it again. Ask questions. And growing doesn't always feel comfortable, but it's really important to do that. The other thing I will just say is, John, congratulations on your degree, John. I teared up. I don't know if you caught that on stage, but it was definitely an emotional thing for me. One of the most exceptional things I've learned from partnering with John is that you need to take risks. Because taking risks means that you can fail faster and learn better. John, I cede the floor to you.
Tough act to follow. Thank you, Marcy, and congratulations on your honorary doctorate, and also congratulations to the class of 2026. Je suis très content d'être ici parmi vous pour la promotion de la classe de 2026. Félicitations à tout le monde. So something I've learned time and time again when I look back on my life is you sort of never know when you've had a good day. Let me give you a few examples from my life. When I was growing up, and I was 16 and 17, I said, the best way for me to go to university is to be a swimming instructor for the city of Niagara Falls, my hometown. That was perfect. So when I turned 17, I took the swimming instructor's course, and I became a swimming instructor for the city of Niagara Falls. Everything was perfect. But then I won the regional Spanish contest and had to go to Ottawa, and the finals in Ottawa were the first week of my teaching assignment. So I thought that wasn't a problem. I phoned the city of Niagara Falls. I said, look, there's 7 instructors who didn't get a job this year. You can take one of them for the first week, and I'll do the other 7 weeks. And they said, no, you're fired. It seemed like a pretty bad day. So what did I do? I started a competitor to the city of Niagara Falls called the Swim School. I ended up with 12 instructors in backyard pools, and the swim school, not the city of Niagara Falls, paid for my university education. So getting fired turned out to be a really good day. Didn't seem that at the time, but it was. A second example of never knowing when you've had a good day came many years later. I was living in Montreal, and I went to my boss for my first full-time job, and I said, I want to take off 2 weeks to buy Auto Hebdo, Auto Trader in Montreal. I thought this is good. He'd say, fine, I'd come back in 2 weeks if I bought it. If I didn't buy it, and I'd buy it and wouldn't come back in 2 weeks. And what he actually said was, have your resignation on my desk at 5 p.m. today. That put enormous pressure on me to buy that company. The risk increased, but so did my determination to take that risk. It raised the stakes. And in 13 days, I bought that first company and never looked back. Deciding to take the leap that changed my life forever. And that, again, turned out to be a very good day. So when you look at your lives and it's thundering outside, realize that your future direction uses very little relation to that bad day. So when rejection comes, and they will come, when an interview goes the wrong way, when a relationship ends, when the master's offer just didn't arrive, or when a job goes to someone else, don't dwell on those bad days. Look to the future, because you never know when you had a good day. Another thing I have learned over the years, and I think Mount Allison is a great example of this, is be a big fish in a small pond and jump from pond to bigger ponds. Lead early something very small. Run a team of 3 before you can lead a team of 300 or 3,000. I started in a very small pond at 29 years old when I bought Auto Hebdo Auto Trader in Montreal, a small classified advertising company with 60 employees and 3 publications. But I was leading the charge. Almost all my fellow Harvard Business School graduates went to big organizations in consulting, investment banking, or executive management. Unfortunately, many spent their lives treading water in big ponds. In the meantime, almost 2 decades later, and many pond jumps, I had 7,000 employees in 23 countries, managing 350 publications and 50 websites. But the skill set and the positioning of my work was just the same. It was just bigger. Being the leader and what you learn from that is important no matter what the size of your endeavor. The bigger ponds will come, and you'll be ready for them because you've started by leading in a small pond. So the class of 2026, the world will be looking to your generation for answers. Answers about the climate, answers about what it means to be human, and answers about what institutions can we trust. Those questions will be answered by the people who are willing to put their hands up and lead. And as Marcy mentioned, take the risk that everyone else is avoiding. And I've always said, when in doubt, act. So congratulations to the class of 2026. Merci et bienvenue au monde de demain. Thank you.
As Provost and Vice President Academic and Research, I would like to acknowledge the exceptional contributions of all Mount Allison faculty to teaching, to research and creative scholarship, and to academic service. For any faculty present here today, I would like to ask you to stand, if you are able, and be recognized for your contributions to Mount Allison. Mr. Chancellor, it is my distinct honor to present the 2026 Tucker Teaching Award to Dr. Rachel Pasco-Delaurier. Dr. Robert Tucker will present the certificate. Dr. Rachel Pasco-Delaurier is the recipient of the 2026 Herbert and Leota Tucker Teaching Award at Mount Allison University, the highest teaching honor at the university. Established by Edmund, Harold, and William Tucker in memory of their parents, the Herbert and Leota Tucker Teaching Award is intended to encourage excellence in teaching at Mount Allison University by acknowledging those who exemplify this excellence. Cross-appointed between commerce and feminist and gender studies, Dr. Pasco-Delaurier's work explores how systems of power and inequality shape workplaces and communities. With a background that combines equity studies and management, she brings an interdisciplinary approach that situates business studies within the broader liberal arts and sciences education. Dr. Pasco-Delaurier's teaching philosophy is to share her own joy of discovery and learning with her students, while creating opportunities for applied learning that centers equity and social justice. Her approach promotes a comprehension exploration of business and management issues within their social and economic contexts. As a scholar of work and employment, her research focuses on how organizational and human resources practices intersect with broader social policy and the competitive forces that shape job quality. She examines how these practices are influenced by wider social, economic, and political contexts, and brings that perspective directly into the classroom, encouraging students to engage with real-world complexity and uncertainty. Dr. Pasco-Delaurier is committed to experiential learning, working closely with community partners to give students hands-on opportunities to build real-world skills. In her classes, students take on projects within the university and beyond, working through real-world challenges that do not have easy answers. From evaluating jobs on campuses to developing inclusive human resources practices, or collaborating with global organizations, students gain experience applying their knowledge in effective ways. Her goal is to equip students with the tools to navigate an increasingly complex world, developing a deeper understanding of how their choices and the choices of others can shape outcomes and how they might approach those decisions more thoughtfully. Congratulations to Dr. Rachelle Pasco-Delaurier, the 2026 recipient of the Tucker Teaching Award.
Chancellor, I would like to ask Dr. Andrew Grant to please stand. Dr. Grant is being recognized today on the occasion of receiving the title Associate Professor Emeritus in recognition of nearly 3 decades of teaching at Mount Allison University. Join me in congratulating Dr. Grant. Honoranda Cancelleri, e baccalaureae cos ad te adico ad gradum magistri in scientiae apti atque idonei cognit sunt. Joshua James Allen Christensen. Claire Yang. Honoranda Cancelleri, hiatal scentes cos ad de adico ad gradum baccalaureae in scientia, apti atque idonei cognit sunt. Danielle Suzanne Alexander, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Ashlyn Elizabeth Bailey, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Samuel Grady Barnes, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the CPA Certificate of Academic Excellence and the F.A. Serby Prize in Psychology. Sally Beatrice Bourne, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Ethan Dermot William Briand, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the G.E. Matthews Prize in Physics, the Dr. R.N. Varma Memorial Gold Medal in Physics, and the Mark E. Vallée Memorial Scholarship in Medical Physics. Aidan Robert Carruthers, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Kendall Scott Memorial Prize in Chemistry. Isabel Maria Rodriguez Casey, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Fensom Prize. Michaela Faith Churchill, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Biochemistry Prize and the Don Norton Memorial Award, a Jane Abbott Eaton Student Leadership Award. Emily Victoria Smith Crosby, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Jillian Patricia Curry, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Fensom Prize, the Biology Prize for Research Excellence, and the Harold Chipman Steeves and Annalise Steeves Memorial Prize. Marissa Rose Shelton Emberley, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Biology Teaching Assistant Prize, the J.C. Moore Prize, and a University Leadership Pin. Burnell Patrice Enman, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Kylie Gallant, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Marissa Jewel Gilbert, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Marie Lena Grimm, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Lauren Mary Guider, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of a University Leadership Pin. Zoe Diane Henrik, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Prize of the Ambassador of Spain. Sophie Cameron Janke, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Sophie Lucille Kidd, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Hannah Arena Klinsevich, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Christian David Leger, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Julianne Camille Levesque, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Jia Hui Li, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude. Sarah Florence Littlejohn, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude. Elowen Gaia Dandelion McLeod, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude, recipient of the Canadian Council of Canadian Departments of Psychology Teaching Assistant Award, the CPA Certificate of Academic Excellence, and a Gold A, a Jane Avard Eaton Student Leadership Award. Avery Jane McKinnon, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude. Tallulah Esme Huabiao McNeil, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude, recipient of the Governor General's Silver Medal, the Alumni Academic Achievement Award, the Pravin Varma Gold Medal in Science, the Society of Chemical Industry Student Merit Award, and a University Leadership Pin. Miko McGregor Corson, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude, recipient of the Fensom Prize and the Canadian Association of Geographers Undergraduate Award. Cynthia Girapa McNair, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude, recipient of the Society of Chemical Industry Student Merit Award. Catherine Paula Manar, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude, recipient of the Bruce I. MacDonald Prize in Physical and Environmental Geography. Ruby Mazzotti, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude, recipient of the Fensom Prize and the Biology Teaching Assistant Prize. Nicholas Nagy, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude, recipient of the W.S.H. Bill Crawford Prize in Math and Computer Science. Bailey Elizabeth Pittman, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude. Sarah Postuma, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude. Julia Laura Margaret Reimer, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude. John Alexander Roberts, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude, recipient of a University Leadership Pin. Meg Olivia Sarti, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude, recipient of the Harold Melville Rogers Memorial Gold Medal, the Biology Teaching Assistant Prize, and the Harold Chapman Steeves and Annalise Steeves Memorial Prize. Lily Claire Schwartz, cum honoribus premiordinis cum laude. Nix Schum, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Biology Teaching Assistant Prize. Keegan Hazen Mansford Stevens, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Fensom Prize. Bailey Elizabeth Stokes, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Paige Stewart, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Colin Patterson Prize. Ivana Siewe Chachua, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Biochemistry Prize and a University Leadership Pin. Bryson Arthur Bernard Thibodeau, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Charles Daniel Semple Torrance, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Harry A. Sheffield Prize. Lauren Mackenzie West, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of a University Leadership Pin. Mickey Giselle Williston, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Biochemistry Prize and a University Leadership Pin. Megan Jacqueline Jones, cum honoribus premiordinus. Derek Akwazi Ansa, cum honoribus. Geneviève Alexandra Aline Borden, cum honoribus. Benjamin Brosseau, cum honoribus. Inez Giahi, cum honoribus. Christian Lynn Giroir, cum honoribus, recipient of the Francis S. Allison Award, an A. Jane Avard Eaton Student Award. Alexis Paré, cum honoribus. Selena Clarinda Winchester, cum honoribus. Sarah Mary Jean Bernicke, cum laude. Eva Nicole Briggs, cum laude. Andrea Carolyn Caron, cum laude, recipient of the James Robert Inch Memorial Prize and the Prize of the Consul General of Switzerland in Montreal. Brendan Alexander Kosman, cum laude. Gabriela Ferez Chiapeta, cum laude. Brooklyn Page Fitzsimmons, cum laude. Andrew Henry Daniel Forrest, cum laude. Rory James Francis, cum laude. Megan Michelle Gaudette, cum laude. Sophia Justine Green, cum laude. Matea Grace Hansen, cum laude. Hugh Allen Hartloper, cum laude. Hadiya Hayat, cum laude, recipient of a University Leadership Pin. Gurner Cower, cum laude. Julianne Launderville, cum laude. Sydney Faith McLean, cum laude. Nujat Jabin Nared, cum laude. Chineye Jessica Okponwa, cum laude, recipient of a University Leadership Pin. Jeremy Herbert William Page, cum laude. Brianna Partridge, cum laude. Eleanor Ann Patterson, cum laude, recipient of a University Leadership Pin. Grace Olivia Peche, cum laude. Drew Isaac Carl Pellerin, cum laude. Rebecca Jean Chalou, cum laude, recipient of a Gold A at Jane Abbott Eaton Student Leadership Award. Samia Solal, cum laude. Alea Mackenzie Soper, cum laude. Matya Stavnitsky, cum laude. Ruby Kathleen Stone Tate, cum laude. Gabrielle Sarah Vautour, cum laude. Alexander Leaf Hall Williams, cum laude. Maeve Ryan Williams, cum laude. Upendra Adhikari. Kaylee Bernice Arsenault. Kieran Kadeem Malik Brannon. Gia Vicky Brijawasi. Ryan Richard Budd. Kennedy Danielle Clark. Nira Olivia Cowan. Danielle Grace Cumby. Suki Dalgleish. Bridget Elizabeth Diatter. Probjit Singh Deogan. Sorab Disley. Emily Gail Doherty. Caitlin Faith Doiron. Chloe Maya Doucette. Caitlin Grace Dupuis. Nefal Ahmad. Cole Fahey. Kendra Allison Fillmore. Rachel Patricia Francis. Hannah Catherine Glennie. Elena Enid Teresa Grandy, recipient of a University Leadership Pin. Maya Dawn Hammersley. Evan Richard Frederick Haynes. Dan Ilchakis. Wesley Simeon King. Olivia Marion Kingston. Julia Grace Kester. Patrick Eric Labrosse. James William Laceby. River Lavery. Maya Jean Lawrence. Thuy Thinoc Lee. Nathaniel Henry Lesser. Georgia Maeve Lewis. Mia Dawn Valerie McAdam. Wadik Pundato Macapinsel. Sarah Margaret Gillian McInnes. Jordan Marie McKay. Rebecca Margaret Meadows. Devin Moylan. Sydney Marie Miles. Somaya Nasiri. Kofi Ofori Amanfo. Julian Michael Ouellette. Caleb James Parsons. Herschel Nilesh Kumar Patel. Savannah Rose Petapa. James Eric Peary Hay. Cole Mitchell Pottle. M.D. Abrar Rahman. Xavier Levi Timothy Ramsey. Geoff Ruse. Emma J. Rose. Christina Rudolph. Benjamin Forrest Scott. Rain Scott. Cameron Somerville, recipient of the Prize of the Bureau of Quebec in the Atlantic Provinces. Isabel Cecilia Tanfara. Nabia Tasnouf. Sydney Grace Tebbett. Alan Selassie Kojo Teta. Julia Rhiannon Thomas. Viraj Ashwin Kumar Vaya. Maeve Sela Watkins. Kayla Weeks, recipient of the Black Student Leadership Award. Anna Marie Faye Wilson. Owen Anthony Woodman. Lauren Margaret Wright. Mark Yazbak Hannah. With your permission, Mr. Chancellor, I would like to say in English that this is the first time we're going to read the Latin for the BASC at Mount Allison, the Bachelor of Arts and Sciences. Honoranda Cancaleri, Ali Adolescentes, Cos adte aduco ad gradum baccalaureae artibus e scientia apti atque idonei cognisunt. Emily Charlotte Esther Brown, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude.
Admitto ad rem.
Ruth Elizabeth Christie, cum laude. Mackenzie Lynn Kerwin Strachan. Honoranda Cancaleri, ali adolescentes a senatu a probi uscaradas in abstentia accipiunt. Honoranda Cancaleri, e adolescentes, cos ad te acco ad gradum baccalaureae in commercio, apti atque idonei cognisunt. Courtney Faith Cockrell, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude, recipient of the Hibberts Meekins First Generation Graduating Student Award. Spencer Reed DeVoe, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude. Evan Robert Douglas Wood, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude, recipient of the Charles Frederick Allison Avard Prize. Bentley Huffington, cum honoribus. Xander Chase Reese, cum in orbis. John Allen Adams, cum laude. Jack Andrew Arsenault, cum laude. Mia Alejandre Cogger, cum laude. James Anthony Donald Fell, cum laude. Jack Christopher Gillis, cum laude. Aidan Patrick Donald Hazen, cum laude. Sage Joel, cum laude. Andrew Daly Leslie, cum laude, recipient of the David G. Ebert Memorial Prize. Sophie Elizabeth Ann Major, cum laude. Thomas McCormick, cum laude. Ashlyn Jan Marie Zaharia, cum laude. Joshua Oga Abu. Cecilia Indira Anderson. Nicholas Avendaño Chung. Reichert Nicholas Balf. Patrick Edward Barnhill. Connor Joseph Michael Barrett. Jackson Davis Bennett. Julian Renee Blanchard. Victoria Janine Ivy Burney. Carmine Casso. Teo Daniel Delaney. Tristan Patrick Devine. Brendan Ian Donald. Daniel James Duffy. Martin Duguay. Winston Paul Alfred Edwards. James English. Ahmad Faraz. Amit Frilling. Mary Rebecca Gowdy. Zana Olive Jean Hathaway. Benjamin René Houchard. Samuel Guozhang Johnson. Sahil Surendra Kedia. Srishti Suresh Kedia. Emily Marie Lake. Jesse Lanu Levine Pye. Callum Ian Pelly McDonald. Graham Mather. Avery Joyce Marr. Leah Sophie May. Spencer James Earl McCarran. Olivia Riley McCrae. Remy Joel McLaughlin. Morgan Paul Milley. Andrew Joseph Teitler Munch, recipient of the Charlie Hunter Award. Lanny Nguyen. Kohei Noda. Isabel Ann Rafter. Tristan Rain. Emma Roberts. Jager Hawk Russell. Madison Margaret Scribner. Jarrett Samuel Searink. Madison Judith Violet Stratton. Divine Dimitri to Sarah. Sharon Husman Hassan. Kenna May Vanderplum. Coral Nicole Van Vessem. Sonam Yusel Wanjel. Brianne Ellen Waselius. Joel Carter Williams. Samuel Alexander Woodman. Honoranda Cancelleri, aliados gentes a senatu approbate os gradas in absentia accipiunt. Honoranda Cancelleri, he baccalaureate cos ad te addico ad gradum in octobre admissi sunt. Samantha Alexis Hallett. Ayash Khan. Hamza Khan. Sabrina Orpita. Sydney Roberta Ellen Shepard. Vincent Jeffrey Bodwell.
Okay, folks, this is your third opportunity to raise the roof for the class of 2026. Well done, folks. The provost behind me just said, I think that's a 9, Ian. There will be one more opportunity. Mr. Chancellor, each year the graduating class chooses one graduate to represent the class and deliver the valedictory address. This is, of course, a great honor, but also a great responsibility, as the valedictorian must find ways to adequately sum up all these life-changing years at Mount Allison. The class of 2026 has selected somebody who is well up to this challenge, as the class of 2026 has selected Honors International Relations student Daniel Henniger. Daniel, if you haven't already made your way towards me, you can do so now. Daniel hails from Port Williams, Nova Scotia. Throughout his time here at Mount Allison, he has been actively involved in campus life, including writing and editing for the Argosy, hosting its weekly CHMA radio show, and performing with the Garnet and Gold Musical Theatre Society and the Motier Fancy Theatre Productions. He has embraced opportunities across the university life and describes his time at Mount Allison as shaped by community, unexpected paths, and a willingness to embrace uncertainty. After graduation, he's going to be joining Minister Sean Fraser in Ottawa as part of the Summer Leadership Program, and I think is going to take a little holiday to the Netherlands to visit some friends that he met here. Everyone, please welcome Daniel Henniger, the class of 2026 valedictorian.
Good morning, everyone. Chancellor Cooper, Dr. Sutherland, staff, faculty, guests, family members, and you, the graduating class of 2026. Yeah. I cannot express how grateful I am to stand here as your valedictorian today. Younger me certainly did not expect to be here, and I owe you all a lifetime of appreciation for trusting me with this role. I started this speech back in March and have thought long and hard about how I want to convey a final message to our class that highlights the many experiences we have had at Mount Allison. It comes down to one word: community. Community comes to mind because together we built this moment. After years of attending classes, finding our way around campus, and learning more about ourselves, we did it. As I talk to you today about the significance of community at Mount Allison, I hope to leave you feeling accomplished, proud, and grateful to be a graduate of the class of 2026. So, I want to start with a question. What do you remember about your first few days here? The drive in, unloading the car and wondering where everything would fit? The Titan Bright? Whatever stands out, it's safe to say that we all arrived at this school with different goals, ideas, concerns, and questions. Maybe you were born and raised a Sackville kid and coming here was always your plan. Perhaps you drove from within Atlantic Canada or transferred to Mount Allison midway through your degree. Or maybe your first day at the school was also one of your first few days in Canada. Regardless of your story, the couple hundred of us sitting here today are evidence that together we can accomplish extraordinary things, and each path we have taken has a unique story behind it. I arrived at Mount Allison afraid of not fitting in. I've always been on the quieter side and worried that I was too shy to meet new people and that my interests in international politics and musical theater were too niche. I knew what I loved to do, but the thought of being my authentic self in a new place was terrifying. I remember taking the Sackville exit and soon after saw someone in a bright yellow tutu jumping up and down as my dad tried to make conversation out the window, and I did my best to hide my face in the front seat. That night, after Orientation 101, I called my parents in tears, wondering if this is the right school for me. Throughout the first few weeks, I would usually say things to them like, if I go back after Thanksgiving, if I come back next semester, or if I finish out the year. As I gave myself more time to find my way around this school, those ifs turned into whens. When I go back next semester, when I register for courses, or when I see my friends next. I believe this change came from recognizing what a special place the community of Mount Allison is. While it may be small, this university is passionate, diverse, and welcoming. It's a place where you can study the UN Security Council in the morning, go on a flight with an aviation student later in the day, and if you're lucky, make it back to Power Hour at Ducky's. Finding community anywhere works in unexpected ways. There's likely something from your time here that you did not expect would make such an impact on your life. Perhaps you found a lifelong friend out of the blue, received great advice from a professor, were encouraged to get involved in a society you didn't expect to love, or maybe you became interested about a random elective you took in first year. This experience happened to me when I was cast as Lumiere the Candlestick in Garnet & Gould's production of Beauty and the Beast. This opened the door to not only an incredible theater experience, but also to being with a diverse group that worked towards a shared goal together. Whatever this moment looked like for you, how wonderful is it that amidst our class's differences, we can discover shared interests and come to love what we created. We can see how amazing the community at Mount Allison is every day. We get to bring our ideas to life through independent research. Some spend time helping children or the elderly through Sackville programs. We advocate or fundraise for causes that we care about. There are TAs, residence leaders, and international mentors who go above and beyond in helping students who feel lost. We invited friends over for movie nights and hosted far too cramped dorm parties. And we cannot forget the students who organize clubs to make the school environment more fun. I see you, Cereal Appreciation Club. The list goes on. Our countless memories we created over our time here reminds me of the adage, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. Not only did we make it to the finish line in this journey, but we did so supporting one another, which made it that much easier and worthwhile. And while we're on the topic of support, to those within the walls of this campus, from faculty, professors, and the unsung heroes who feed us and keep this campus looking beautiful, we are forever grateful to you. To our loved ones who supported us by taking late night calls, sending us a care package, or perhaps writing an extra check or two, we truly could not have done this without you. Now, before I wrap up, the political science and international relations student in me would be remiss if I did not note that as graduates, we hold great power in having a degree. My mom used to tell my brother and I that no matter what power we have, to use it for good. I used to interpret this as leadership or political power, but after seeing the amazing things this class has done, it's clear that being educated is and always will be the greatest form of power. This is because education is never fleeting. Beauty, fashion, social trends are changing all the time. But education, since the beginning of time, education has been the source of the greatest breakthroughs. It lets us problem solve the most pressing issues and change the world for the better. As we step into our next adventure, we have a responsibility to use our education to make a positive impact on the world. This room is filled with critical thinkers, creativity, researchers, quick-wittedness, and curiosity. Our degree is not just a symbol that, yes, we graduated. It shows how deeply we care about something and want to devote time to our passions. For those reasons, we should never apologize for our interests or make ourselves small on a topic that we care about. We have the ability to teach others, challenge narratives, make breakthroughs, and be our most authentic selves while doing so. No matter your field of study or where your interests lie, how amazing is it that we got this education at Mount Allison University? So, as I look to you today, the class of 2026, I have never felt more optimistic about the positive impact we will make no matter the places we go. We can dream, do, change, and explore. So wish for the impossible and chase it. Be rebellious and be your authentic self. Your community will be better because you did so. Thank you for this great honor.
Tough act to follow. Just before we get going, Chancellor Cooper, was that your first conference of a degree since you've been named Chancellor? Congratulations, you did a great job. I would also like to wish all moms a belated Happy Mother's Day. Hopefully this is one of the best Mother's Day gifts you've received to date. Graduates, congratulations. My name is Jonathan Graves. I'm the current president of the Mount Allison Alumni Board, and I'm very proud to be in front of you today. Today is a celebration of everything it took to get to this moment. The years of work, the late nights, the friendships, the setbacks, the small victories that no one else saw, and the determination that brought you across this stage today. And on behalf of the Mount Allison Federated Alumni Board and alumni around the world, I want to say how proud we are to welcome you into the alumni family. Today, you become part of a community of more than 25,000 Mount Allison alumni living and working across Canada and around the world. Beginning today, you carry that connection with you too. You will discover, sometimes unexpectedly, that Mount Allison alumni tend to find one another. It happens in airports, offices, classrooms, communities, and cities far from Sackville. There is usually an immediate conversation about residents, professors, friends, teams, societies, favorite spots on campus, or memorable weather events that can only be understood by people who have experienced the Tantramar winds. Because no matter when someone graduated, there are certain things alumni recognize in one another: curiosity, community, Daniel, beautiful job, creativity, and a willingness to stay involved. Those qualities have always shaped this university. What makes the alumni community special is not simply the accomplishments of its graduates, it is the way alumni continue to show up for one another and for Mount Allison itself. They mentor students, volunteer, return for reunion and homecoming, support scholarships, and help fellow alumni find opportunities and connections. They remain connected because this place mattered to them and continues to matter to them. And now, you are part of that story too. This past year, as Mount Allison marked the 150th anniversary of Grace Annie Lockhart becoming the first woman in the British Empire to earn a bachelor's degree, we have reflected on the generations of graduates who came before us and helped to shape this university and communities around them. Today, your names are added to that history. For many of you, Mount Allison became much more than a campus. It became the place where lifelong friendships began, where your confidence grew, and where people encouraged you, challenged you, and believed in you. The Alumni Board exists to ensure that connection does not disappear after graduation. One of the simplest and most meaningful ways to stay connected is by helping future students discover Mount Allison. The Refer a Student program is a simple online form. Share your experience. Encourage prospective students to visit campus, ask questions, and imagine themselves here. Some of the strongest parts of this community have always grown, person by person, through alumni who believed enough in their experience to recommend it to someone else. Most importantly, know that you will always have a place here. Having the privilege of presenting each of you with your alumni pin as you left the stage today was an honor for me. It is a small symbol, but it represents something meaningful, your lifelong connection to Mount Allison and to one another. So today, celebrate this accomplishment fully. Celebrate the people beside you, the people who supported you, and the journey that brought you here. Congratulations, class of 2026. We are so proud to welcome you to the Mount Allison alumni family.
The luck of speaking near the end of a long ceremony. The program, on the stage, we get a little cheat sheet program, and it says in mine, Chancellor to speak briefly. I think that's the best applause line I'm going to get. So good morning to you all, and bonjour à tous, and congratulations, Science, Arts and Science, and Commerce graduates from the class of 2026. Standing with you here today, I'm struck by how much this moment represents, not just an ending, but a new beginning that is taking shape. Convocation has a way of doing that. It gives us a moment to pause, to recognize how far you've come, while also quietly asking, what's next? For me, this day carries special meaning. Mount Allison has been part of my life for a very long time. I graduated from Mount Allison, and I have deep family connections here that tie me to this place in ways that are very meaningful to me. So being here today as your chancellor at my first convocation in this role feels both new and very familiar at the same time. I remember sitting where you are now with a sense of accomplishment, yes, but also with questions, uncertainty, and a growing awareness that life was about to open up in ways I couldn't fully predict. That's something you and I share. You're stepping forward as graduates into the lives and careers that are just beginning to take shape, and I'm stepping into my role as the 10th Chancellor of Mount Allison, also at the beginning of something new. Different paths, different stages, but a similar feeling, that mix of excitement, possibility, and maybe just a little bit of anticipation and nervousness of the unknown. What I've come to understand, and what I hope you'll come to understand, is that the unknown is not something to be frightened of. It's where growth happens. Very few journeys unfold exactly as planned. The most meaningful opportunities often come from the unexpected, the moments where you take a step forward without having all the answers. So if you leave here today without a perfectly clear plan, that's okay. That's pretty normal, in fact. What matters is that you move forward with curiosity, with openness, and with the confidence that you are ready for what comes next. And along the way, you will carry Mount Allison with you, and you'll carry your degree with you. And to sort of paraphrase the tragically hip, your degree's value will reveal itself one star at a time. Not just in what you've learned, but in the relationships you've built, the conversations that changed your thinking, and the people who supported you. Those connections matter more than you may realize right now. They will continue to shape your path. And if you're like me, they'll stay with you for a lifetime. To the families and supporters here today, thank you. You've been part of this journey in ways both visible and behind the scenes, and this milestone belongs to you as well. And to our honorary degree recipients, Dr. Marcy McCall-McBain, a philanthropic leader and health scholar whose career reflects a deep commitment to human well-being, education, and social impact. Through her leadership, she has helped create pathways for others to learn, grow, and make a meaningful difference. Thank you for your presence here today, Marcy. And to Dr. John McCall-McBain, an entrepreneur and visionary whose impact extends far beyond business. Through his dedication to education, leadership, and public service, he's opened doors for students and emerging leaders around the world, and we are grateful for your presence here today. Together, your generosity and shared commitment to giving back have created opportunities that will be felt for generations. And for our graduates today, your examples are a powerful reminder of what it means to lead with purpose, to use success not only for personal achievement, but to create opportunity for others. We are honored to recognize you today. Congratulations, félicitations. Graduates, there's no single definition of success waiting for you beyond this day. There's only the path you choose to build step by step. Some of you will follow plans you've carefully mapped out. Others will find yourselves pulled in directions you didn't expect. Both are part of the same journey. Class of 2026, this is your moment. I'm proud to be starting this chapter alongside you. Congratulations to all and for what's to come. Merci.
Okay, folks, we're almost there. Chancellor, as you can imagine, many people contribute to making a ceremony like this possible. And I want to take a few moments here, almost at the end, to say thank you to all those working here in the hall and behind the scenes and across campus. I want to thank them for their care and dedication. Please give a round of applause to our staff. I also want to take another moment to recognize our academic faculty and instructors who have helped get all of you here today. Please give another round of applause to the faculty and instructors. And lastly, to all the staff that have helped the class throughout your years here at Mount Allison. I think Daniel referred to it very beautifully, all those that have helped get meals for you, keep the campus beautiful and clean and looking so great. Let's give a round of applause to all of those incredible people. Chancellor, my notes also say to acknowledge that you made it through your first convocation, so well done, Georgie. Towards the end of pretty much every great celebration at Mount Allison, we have a number of traditions. Perhaps the most beloved is the singing of the alma mater song. So I'm going to give you some instructions, this is a learning institution after all, about how this whole morning is going to end up. In your program, you're going to find the words to the alma mater song. I think it's on page 3 of your program. Page 5 of your program. Thank you, Dr. St. Pierre. The alma mater song is a treasured tradition of Mount Allison, and we dearly love to sing it at ceremonies such as this. We have a way of doing this. So when the alma mater song comes up, do not sing the first verse. Listen intently to the rhythm, to the harmony, to the melody. You're not going to have to sing the verses anyway. Then there's going to be a chorus. Really pay attention to the chorus the first time. Really learn it, because you are going to have to sing the chorus the second time. There'll then be another verse and then a final chorus. So we will be singing the alma mater song. Following this, we will have our last reflection from our University Multi-Faith Chaplain, Reverend Ellie Hummel, and then we will go into O Canada, followed by the academic procession out of the hall. For all of our beautiful, wonderful guests here today, we would ask that while the procession is going out of the hall, you remain in the hall to allow us to get out. And then as soon as everybody's out, you're welcome to join and congratulate all of your graduates. Those instructions clear? Alma mater, last chorus, pay attention to the first verse, chorus, and verse. We're going to then have Reverend Hummel, we're then going to have O Canada, we're then going to have the recessional, and then you can party like it's 2026. Speaking of which, this is your last opportunity to give a huge round of applause to the class of 2026. Congratulations, everybody.
That's a tough one to follow. What a great celebration. You did it. And now take a deep breath and pause and be present in this very moment and what has taken place here. You have walked across the stage and you're now holding your degrees in your hands. Take them and show them off with pride. But don't just take your degrees. No, take the stories of your Mount A years and the memories you have created. Take gratitude for all those who've helped you on your way. Take wisdom you have gained through challenges, perseverance, and hard work. Take joy in our differences and the knowledge that we don't have to agree to be compassionate to one another. Take kindness and the knowledge that every small gesture can help build a world of peace. Take all the goodness from this place and all the values you have learned, and then go to your homes and your communities and spread these values with diligence and joy. Go out and be community builders, work for justice and inclusion, and together let us create a world where all are valued. Let's do it. Wilaliach, merci, and thank you.